Hello everybody and welcome to the video. So today is episode 18 of the Beginner's Adventure series and we got quite a bit to talk about. So first things first, what have I been doing since the last video? Since the last video, I've been doing three things, right? Tons of experimenting, tons of farming, and mainly what I want to get into is doing my dailies. See, if you're new to the game, doing your dailies is obviously important regardless of the time of year, but it's especially important now thanks to the event, Summoners War Championship Scroll giveaway event, where they're going to give you a Summoners War Championship Scroll. And the reason this scroll is so important, if you go here to the Summon Hinge, this allows you to pick 6 4-stars and 6 5-stars. You could summon the scroll, and you potentially get one of these guys right here. And I suggest putting units that would be very beneficial to you guys. If you're missing, like for 4-stars, if you're missing any of the Water Twins, if you don't have them for some reason, throw them in. If you need Tyrant, if you need Lucian, again, units that are very good, throw them in here. This could be your chance to catch up on some units or to obtain some units that would definitely change the way you're playing the game. Or throw in some personal units, like for example, some of the 5-stars I've thrown in. I don't need them now, but I would like to use them eventually. Ganymede is a really good unit that I like. Masha. The Indra, I believe his name is Chakra, or some other units that are good. Annabelle, Bastet, Savannah, all really good units that you can use early on that get better with time, especially when you start to get more runes. So it's just take that chance. That and you have a chance to get a 4 or 5-star light dark, maybe summoned at random. So try to get this scroll, right? So getting into the first thing, we if you guys remember in the last video, we set 2 goals for ourselves. The first goal is that we beat dragons B10 consistently. The second goal, we beat the Wind Beast. I'm more than happy to say we beat dragons. We beat dragons B10. Not that it's that hard. I mean, it was not that hard to transition into dragons, but I'll show you guys what team I used and even give you guys a team in case you guys obviously want to beat dragons. So let's not waste too much time. We'll get into the team and then I'll show you guys a couple runs. And then we'll move on from there. So we're gonna, quick rounds. We're gonna go through all the units really quickly. First unit, Verti-Heal. Verti-Heal is our attack bar booster. He boosts the attack bar of all allies by 20% every time he lands a critical hit. He also has a dungeon speed lead, 28%. I know a lot of you guys were yelling in the comments, 100% crit rate, 100% crit rate. I'm gonna tell you something. He's doing his job, right? He's doing his job. I'm not going to sacrifice too many of his stats at the moment for 100% crit rate, especially since it doesn't feel like it would make too much of a difference at the moment. Later on, for sure, 100% crit rate. At the moment, he's doing his job. He's critting. He's boosting attack bar of all allies. I mean, I haven't lost yet. As long as I'm not losing, I don't care what he's on. He could be on 2% crit rate. But here are his runes. You see, I did aim for crit rate and crit damage in his sub stats, but I would have to sacrifice a lot of stats to get him to 100% crit rate. So at the moment, I think he's fine. Second unit is Lauren, the Light Cowgirl. You see, she's on tons of speed, tons of HP, and tons of accuracy. Reason being is that she's our single target attack bar reducer and stripper. So she's there to make sure that she's there to keep the dragon under control. She's there to make sure that it doesn't take turns, and that if it does get immunity, she's there to take it straight off. They are her runes. She has a lot of accuracy, which I'm proud of. But there you go. Let's take one last look. Let's move on to the next unit. The next unit is Veramos. Veramos is back on his damage build. You see, he doesn't have too much speed. He has okay amounts of HP, but I've mainly focused on him critting and him landing his stuff. So you see he has a 74% accuracy. The reason he's on this team is for a few reasons. First reason is he has AoE crowd control, which is going to be good for the waves leading up to the dragon, and it's even good for the dragon itself. If you remember, his second skill reduces the attack bar of the enemies if they're not stunned after this attack by 50%. So he can reduce the attack bar of the crystal by 50%, which is going to help with you guys clearing the dungeon. I do remember that there is a comment that one of you guys put in the last video that I'll put on screen. This is a perfect comment right here to me. It suggests tons of units that do AoE attack bar reduction. This is what you want for the dragon at the moment for when you first start out, because that crystal, you do not want it to move. Immunity is going to be your worst nightmare, right? But another reason he's on the team is because he can remove harmful effects. And if you recall, if you've ever been in the dragon's dungeon before, the dragon places continuous damage. He's cleansing it every turn. So it's very rare for the dragon to be able to attack you. I mean, in general, but if he were to, it's going to be also be very rare for you to have dots on you that he could amplify his damage on. So you're healing, you're not dying to dots. Really good unit, right? So here are his runes. Boom. I know this could go to plus 15, but I don't have the mana. Don't have the mana. Then we have Spectra. Spectra's on the same runes as last time. He could be better, for sure. I am not denying that. Let's see. This rune can be better. Slot 4. And that one's okay. But it could still be better. But he's there to reduce attack bar. And I've skilled his skill 2 up all the way. The fact that he gets to do damage based off of enemy's max HP every 2 turns has helped the runs a lot. Initially, when I started doing these runs, I was getting like around 2-minute, 20-second-ish times. I skilled this up all the way. It's at like around 1:50 to 2 minutes. So it's definitely sped up the time by quite a few seconds because he's doing tons more damage more often. So really good. Last but not least, the 5th unit, you guys can pick between 3 different units straight off the bat. You're bound to have at least one of these 3 units. First unit is either Lapis, second unit can be Teor, or the third unit can be Tyron, the water sylph, which, if you guys recall, I told you guys is going to be a good choice off of the Summoners War Championship scroll event. Reason being is, again, you want attack bar reduction, AoE attack bar reduction. It's going to be helpful for the waves leading up to the boss, and it's also going to be helpful for the crystal. So, Lapis has AoE attack bar reduction on her first skill, and then even attack bar absorb on her third skill. Now, Lapis, out of all 3 of these, is probably the worst choice, but she still performs, which we will show a run of her performing. Teor is also a really good unit because on his third skill, he will attack all enemies, slow everyone's attack speed for 3 turns, and also reduce their attack bar by 100%, if you see at the bottom. Tyron, the way he functions is that on his second skill, he will attack all enemies with a cyclone 2 times, each attack having a 40% chance to increase enemy's chance of landing glancing hit, blah blah blah. Also reduces the attack bar by 75% if you attack an enemy under the decrease attack speed effect with each attack. So you could potentially just slow down enemies a lot. And if you skill him up, which is going to be really easy to skill him up because you could fuse his skill ups, that's every 3 turns. And then he has a slow on his third skill. And you could build him damage if you want to. So Tyron and Teor are probably the best choices, but Lapis also works. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go into the dragons, and I'm going to show you 2 runs. The first run with Lapis. And remember, my Lapis, by the way, is on a support build. So she's not doing tons of damage, so the run's going to be pretty slow. But I'm going to show you that she works. Then we'll do another run with Teor. So let's get into the run. Okay guys, so I'm going to interrupt here. I know I had like the music playing and all that stuff. I'm going to interrupt here for a second to talk about Lapis a little bit. So again, Lapis is on a support build, but you can, if you guys have the runes, which you should be farming giants a little bit before you attempt dragons. But if you have the runes, switch Lapis. I suggest this. Switch, I mean, if you can find another Famine farmer, if that's something that you're prioritizing. But switch Lapis to a Despair Blade build, or Despair Focus if you have the runes, and just have her on like speed, crit damage, attack, or speed, crit damage, HP, whichever works for you. because Lapis on Despair is absolutely crazy. Regardless of how they worked with Despair after the Reloaded update, it's still really good. And you'll notice that going through these stages, Lapis being able to stun the waves is going to be really helpful for you guys, especially on that mid-boss. So getting here, I really want you guys to not really pay attention to the dragon, but pay attention to that right crystal. See, by having 3 sources of attack bar reduction, it's going to help prevent that crystal from moving as often. Now with Lapis, she has Absorb, which it's absorbed by 25%. And Lapis isn't exactly the best attack bar reducer, but she's still really good here. But by having 3 sources of AoE attack bar reduction, you're definitely preventing that crystal from moving as often, which will allow you guys to get in tons more damage to the dragon and prevent him from moving much more. So it becomes safe for you guys. But of course, the problem with Lapis is that she has the worst amount of attack bar absorption and all that stuff from all the 3 options that I gave you. So I would recommend choosing Tyron or Teor over Lapis if you do have that choice. But she does work. There we go. So you see the first skill and third skill, really awesome. And we're about to beat it. But if you're gonna have to resort to Lapis, I would suggest making sure at least Spectra's accuracy is a little bit higher than mine. But again, I don't use Lapis, so there we go. 3 minutes. Again, Lapis is on support. My Lapis is, if you build your Lapis on damage, the time will be much shorter. But time to go in and watch Teor do his magic. The reason I think Teor is better, he just has more damage. He does damage based off of attack speed, and again, he has good crowd control and attack bar reduction by 100%. So if this skill 3 lands and it doesn't get resisted, it's almost like an instant win. So let's watch this happen. Again, he's on damage. Lapis was on support, on tanky runes. Keep that in mind. So the good thing about this team composition, either having Teor or Tyron or even Lapis, is that again all of them are AoE damage dealers. You could build even Tyron on like speed or damage attack, and he would function. He would work. And if you put Tyron or Lapis on Despair, just the waves are nothing to you, right? And then even getting to the boss stage, it's like, look, the crystal has a slow. Tyron would reduce the attack bar almost instantly. Oh my god, I accidentally clicked. Oh my gosh. but he would reduce the attack bar almost instantly. So you see that attack bar is all the way down. That's also because of Lauren. But we get off AoE attack bar reductions just enough to where look at that. That's beautiful. 100% reduction. Again, Tyron has 75% and he has it on 2 hits. So you can do this amount of damage as well. So I would suggest Tyron as well. Tyron is really fun. Especially on damage. Speed, crit, damage, attack. So 2 minutes. If I didn't focus so many attacks on the crystal, I accidentally clicked the crystal. Typically I get around 1:50 to again, 1:50 to 2 minutes, 2 minutes 5 seconds, really depending. But there you go, there's our dragon's run. And as you can see, I don't know if I showed it earlier, I got a couple shield runes sitting here, got a couple violence, which are awesome. But that's pretty much it for dragons. So another one of our goals that we wanted to complete this month was to be able to clear the Wind Beast, to be able to do Wind Beast at the very least at S, and we're doing it at S. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I'm doing this. This is the team that I've been using. Now, I get it, I'm using a Nat 5, but boo-hoo. I'm joking. A good unit for this stage is Iragar, which, you know, you get Iragar by obtaining ancient coins through events. Buy him with ancient coins. You throw him in here, throw in a couple damage dealers. They'll heal based off of their damage. They work too. You could always go to strategy info and find the monsters that people are using. Of course, I'm using Perna. Verta heals pushing turns. Riley's really good. Colleen is obviously really good. Xiangfei, Huahi, Ryok. All these are really good units, but you get the point. I have Irogar. I want to have him skilled up first, leveled up before I even worry about using him. But he does have a dungeon attack lead, and it's by quite a bit. So he is pretty good. But this is the team I'm using. Another unit that I want to point out is the Wind Yeti, aka Rakaja. He's speed, defense, I believe. He scales with defense on damage. And then he also heals all allies based on the number of allies. So he's helpful for getting the lightning roar off. So let's watch the run. Let's not waste too much time, because I know this video is pretty long as it is. But you're gonna just see how effective this team is when it comes to clearing that lightning roar off. There's pretty much healing on almost every unit. I mean, Perna has her passive, Fran has her healing, Rakaja and Belladon have their healing. Bird has like vampirism almost on his first skill, but he has turn boosting, which is really helpful. So there you go. So I let this play out. You guys will watch it to the end and see you guys afterwards. So there you go, there you go. There you go. They beat it. New score. Of course, why not? On video. Double S. And finally, my first fatal rune. Because all I've been getting are rage runes. I believe it's rage. Was it rage? Drop info. I believe it was just rage. Yeah, I've been getting nothing but rage enchantment gems. Like, hold up. I'm sorry. We got to take a look at this. I'm glad that it's giving me, finally, some fatals. See, all I have are rages, right? Oh, I got this one. Oh. What are fatals? I got one fatal. And I farmed that quite a few times. But, I will say one thing. Over the course of the last few days, especially videos where I've had to change builds on some units, teams have changed in like the ice beast, so I'm having to use this. This is what he's on, by the way. Targets max HP. It works. The team functions. It's just Naomi wasn't getting us triple S anymore. This guy is. And then Fire Beast, I also have to fix because I took Lapis off of damage. So this is also what I'm using. And then I'll show you guys this one. I love the Fire Beast runs. Holy crap. Watch how fast they clear this. Watch how freaking fast they take down this boss. Watch this. Dang, actually, I can't remember if this is super safe. I wonder like how close they're coming to death each time. But look at that. It was one rotation and the boss is almost dead. Oh, he gets it off one more time. That's lame. But they have a damage lead, so I'm imagining that's a big part of it. But you get Perna for the extra heals, and then Perna does revive in case, just in case, so Perna can help dish out a good amount of damage. That's a cool thing about Perna, isn't it? But you could literally put a different damage dealer in here. Iragar, again, very beautiful unit. It's 3.7 million damage. That is beautiful. They're going to take these fire minions up the A, but it's fine. They have a defense buff, so they live. And even if Perna dies, which he won't, he heals. Or he revives. Or she revives, I'm sorry. Boom. So we're doing pretty good. Let's see. In Perna's passive, where he's healing all allies by 10% max HP. Really helpful here. Oh, come on, don't do this. Don't do this to me. Oh, God, it did it. It did it to me. So it's not super consistent. That's sad. Oh, well. Oh, well. It's fine by me. I guess that's, since we completed all of our other goals this month, that's what our goal is for the rest of the month, is fix our Fire Beast team, potentially even do Light Beast. But that's pretty much it. I mean, this is already a long video. I'm going to end it here. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, farm tons and tons and tons and tons. Until next time, peace.